If you're a man over 60 and you've noticed, your erections have faded, your sensitivity feels dull, or your desire has gone quiet, what I'm about to tell you may shock you, because the truth is, what's happening to your manhood isn't just aging. A silent warning, a cry for help, a signal that your blood flow is slowed. Your tissues are inflamed and your nervous system is starting to shut down. But here's what no one tells you. It's a simple, natural way tourist, or what you thought was gone. A way thought doesn't involve pills, injections, or shame. And it starts with 2 ingredients hiding in your home right now: castor oil and baking soda. Dr. Mohit Khera, a urologist and men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience helping older men regain their strength, sensation, and confidence without medications or compromises. What I'm about to show you is based on real science and real results from real patients. Now, know it sounds unusual? Castor oil and baking soda for your manhood? But that's exactly why you need to listen closely. Because this blend doesn't just sit on the skin, it goes deep. It helps reverse 7 of the most overlooked root causes of decline in men over 60. It restores blood flow, softens hardened tissue, it calms inflammation, and it reconnects you to a part of yourself you may have thought was lost. Stay with me because I'm going to show you exactly how this works, how to apply it step by step, and what to expect in the first 7, 14, and 30 days. You're not too old, you're not too late. Before we dive in, make sure you've subscribed and turned on the bell so you never miss another natural remedy. Breakthrough health tip designated specifically for men over 60, and if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0. I'm here to learn, grow, and serve you better every time. Now, let's begin with something most men over 60 never hear, but absolutely need to understand. Because before any healing can happen, you have to know there are reasons your erections are weaker. Your sensitivity is fading, and your orangey feels drained. And no, it's not just age. That's far too simple and dangerously misleading. What's actually happening inside your body is far more specific and far more hopeful. 1. Why your manhood isn't failing? Your manhood isn't failing? It's calling for help. I've sat across from hundreds of men, strong men, wise men, men who built families, careers, and legacies. And yet, when they talk about what's happening to their bodies after 60, they look down, lower their voices, and say, same quiet phrase, "I think something's wrong down there." They blame their age, their stress, their past mistakes. But the truth is, most often are wrong, and not in the way they think. What's happening to their manhood isn't failure. It's not the end. It's a signal, a warning light. And if you listen to, it can become the beginning of something powerful. You see, when erections fade, when sensation grows dull, when the body starts to feel distant or unfamiliar, it's not because you're broken. It's because your blood isn't flowing the way it used. 2, it's because inflammation has crept into your pelvic tissues. Your state has swollen just enough to press against the nerves that matter, and your body is slowly shutting down the very systems that once gave you confidence, connection, and pleasure. But the good news, the best news, is fatal of this can be addressed naturally, safely, and without shame. I remember one of my patients, Joseph, 68, widowed, thoughtful. He looked me in the eye and said, "Doc, I feel like I've just disappeared down there." But within weeks of understanding what was truly happening inside his body and making thorough changes, he was back in my office, smiling, not just because he felt better, but because he felt alive again. What your body is trying to tell you isn't you're done. It's saying, I need your attention. I need circulation. I need healing. And once you understand, if everything else begins to make sense, because now the question becomes, what can actually restore blood flow, ease inflammation, and bring your manhood back online without drugs or surgery? The answer might just be in your kitchen. Let me show you. 2. Castor Oil, the deep healer for men over 60. I'll be honest with you. When I first heard about castor oil being used for men's health, I dismissed it. It sounded old-fashioned, like something you'd find in your grandmother's medicine. cabinet, not something that could help restore blood flow or bring sensation back to Eamon's body. But the more I studied, the more I saw it working in ways that even surprised me. And today, it's one of the first things I recommend to older men looking to heal without medications. Castor oil is unlike any other oil I've come across. While most oils just sit on the surface of the skin, castor oil goes deeper, penetrates through the outer layers, traveling into the tissues, the fascia, the blood vessels underneath, and what it brings with it is remarkable. Anti-inflammatory compounds, circulation stimulants, and a deep warming action that seems to wake up areas that have gone quiet with age. When applied to the lower abdomen, inner thighs, or groin area, castor oil gently invites blood back into places where it hasn't moved freely in years. There's a patient who comes to mind. Walter, 74. He came to me after 2 years of frustration. No pills had worked and had nearly given up on ever feeling like a man again. We started simple, a warm castor oil pack applied nightly across his pelvic area. After just a couple of weeks, he looked me in the eyes and said, "It's like something's switched back on." And it wasn't just physical changes. His energy was lighter, his posture stronger, his brain brighter. What I love most about castor oil is that it doesn't force the body, it supports it. It reminds your system how to function. And at our age, we don't need more pressure. We need the kind of healing that feels safe, natural. Andriel. But castor oil is only half the story. There's one more ingredient that to cast these healing to another level. An ingredient that breaks down the various stiffness and blockage that hold you back. And when it joins forces with castor oil, the results can be nothing short of remarkable. Let me introduce you to it. 3 baking soda. The baking soda softener that restores sensation. If castor oil is the healer, then baking soda is the opener. And no, I'm not talking about baking it into cookies or brushing your teeth with it. I'm talking about using it in a way you've probably never imagined, topically, gently, and with intention. No, it sounds strange. When I first recommended this to a patient, he laughed and said, "Doc, you want me to rub wet down there?" But a few weeks later, he wasn't laughing. He was thanking me. Here's what most men don't realize. As we age, our tissues, especially in the pelvic region, begin to accumulate acid, waste, and tension. This isn't something you feel all at once. It builds slowly like sediment in a pipe. Over time, ethadons, the soft tissue, restricts blood flow and creates a dullness, not just in sensation, but in identity. You don't feel the way you used to, and you start to wonder if you ever will again. That's where baking soda comes in. It gently neutralizes the acid that stiffens tissue. It softens the heart and little ears that restrict blood flow and nerve response. When you mix just a pinch of it with warm castor oil and apply it to your lower abdomen, inner thighs, or groin, it creates a kind of opening, an invitation for the body to breathe again. I remember Ronald, 68, who tried everything. Testosterone, supplements, even injections. Nothing helped. After just 4 sessions of this blend, he looked at me and said, "Doc, I felt warmth I hadn't felt since I was 40, and the next week, morning wood, for the first time in years, it wasn't just a fluke. It was chemistry working with Thebody, not against it." And this is where things start to shift, because once you feel even a flicker off sensation returning, your body begins to believe healing is possible. So the question now is, how do you apply this blend correctly so it goes exactly where it's needed and brings the deepest results? Let me show you 4. The right way to use it step by step. I can't tell you how many times I've seen something powerful fail simply because it wasn't used the right way. This blend of castor oil and baking soda isn't a miracle. Cream, it's not some gimmick, it's a tool. And like any good tool, its impact depends on how you use it when applied correctly. With presence and consistency, I've seen a ton-look circulation restore warmth, can bring life back to tissues that had been quiet for years. Here's how I teach my own patients to dote. Start with a clean space and a calm moment. No rushing, no distractions. This isn't just about applying something. It's about reconnecting with a part of yourself you may have ignored. Too long, take 1 TBSP of organic castor oil and mix it with a small pinch, about half 80 spoon of baking soda. Stir until smooth. Then gently warm the mixture in your hands or place the bowl in warm water for a few minutes. Yes, the goal is comfort, not heat. Now apply it slowly over your lower abdomen, groin crease, and inner thighs. These are the power lines that feed blood into your manhood. Use circular motions, gentle pressure. Don't scrub, don't rush. This is not about force, it's about signal. You're telling your body, wake up, you're safe, you're needed. Some men place a warm towel over the area for 20 to 30 minutes, allowing the blend to penetrate even deeper. Others lie still, breathe, and just listen to their bodies. However you do it with care, and the most important part, repeat it. At least 3 times a week. Healing doesn't come in a day, but it does come. I've seen it over and over. A flicker-off feeling, a deeper sleep, a stronger stream, then confidence. But if you really want to take this further, if you want to feel the results not just faster, but deeper, there's one more layer to add. Because hidden in your own hands are 3 pressure points that can instantly boost blood flow and wake up nerves that have gone quiet. Most men have never heard of them. You're about 2-5. Pressure points. Points that wake up the pelvis, wake up the pelvis. There's something powerful about the human body that most men forget as they age. It holds its own answers. We're soused to looking for solutions outside of ourselves, in pills, in procedures, in quick fixes. But sometimes the key to healing is already in your hands, literally. Over the years, I've guided countless older men through physical recovery. But the most surprising breakthroughs often come from something's impulse, touch, not mechanical, not clinical, but intentional, caring to lead to the right places at the right time. There are 3 pressure points I teach my patients to use while applying the castor oil and baking soda blend. They're small, subtle zones, but they act like switches. The first is at the base of your wrist, right in the soft hollow between 2 tendons. When pressed gently for 60 seconds, it calms the heart, opens blood vessels, shifts your nervous system from stress to restoration. The second is on the inner thigh, about 4 fingers up from the crease of your groin. Pressing hair supports lymphatic flow and boosts circulation to the pelvic region. The third is found between your big toe and second toe where they meet. In ancient medicine, this point is known for estering energy, blood flow, and event testosterone balance. I remember George, 79. Recently widowed, he came to me not for performance advice, but to feel alive again. Hesed, I don't want to feel invisible. So we didn't start with medication. I started with his hands, these pressure points, the blend. A quiet moment each night. 2 weeks later, he called me, his voice stronger. Doc, he said, I feel like myself. Again, these aren't magic tricks. There are signals to the body that it's safe to pain, to feel, to return. When you seed alongside the blend, they deepen the effect and they reawaken your connection to yourself. But that's not where the healing ends. Because what you do immediately after this ritual, what you eat, what you put into your body, can either lock in their salts or silently reverse them. And most men get this part completely wrong. Let me show you how to get it right. The foods that lock in the healing. 6. The foods that lock in the healing. Here's something most men never realize. What you eat right after applying the castor oil and baking soda blend can neither lock in the healing or quiet lando all the work you just did. Think about it. You've just opened your dices, boosted blood flow, cleared pathways that may have been blocked for years. Your body is finally ready to absorb nutrients to restore itself. Beautiful. You feed it the wrong fuel. It's like flushing out a river and then dumping sludge back upstream. I've seen this happen too many times. One patient, Bill, 72, retired fictor, was doing everything right. The blend, the pressure points, their routine. But he told me, Doc, I feel a flicker of progress, and I slide backward. So I asked him gently, what tear you eating after your sessions? And that's when it all made sense. Processed Tedmits, white bread, soda, heavy cheese, nothing fresh, nothing alive. His body was opening up, but his food was closing. It backed down. We made small changes. Nothing extreme. After each session, he added a glass of beet juice, which floods the body with nitric oxide for blood flow. A hard-boiled egg or half an avocado for healthy fats and hormones. A bowl off steamed spinach with olive oil and garlic. One of the best natural artery softeners I've ever seen. And a score off dark chocolate rich in flavonoids to stimulate nitric oxide and enhance your circulation. Just real food used at therapy time. And within a week, everything changed. Not just his erections, his mood, his energy, his sense of control. I feel like I got a piece of myself back. He told me, you don't need to overhaul your diet, you just need to support your body when it's ready to heal. Because when you do, the results not only last, they build. But there's one more piece that makes this all come together. And it's not physical. It's what you believe about yourself, and the quiet story you tell yourself fuck day when you look in the mirror. Let's talk about that next. The mindset shift that reactivates manhoods. The mindset shift that reactivates manhood. There's something I've learned after 3 decades of listening to men behind closed doors. The greatest damage isn't always what happens to the body. It's what happens to the mind. I've sat across from men in their 60s South, 7 South, even 80s, who whispered to me that they felt invisible, that they had quietly accepted the idea that their best days were behind them. And I get it. Your body doesn't respond the way I does too. It's easy to start belly of injury broken. What I need you to hear right now is this. You're not broken. You're waiting. One of my patients, Frank, had been through prostate surgery, or survived their recovery and done everything right. But when he sat down in front of me, he said something I'll never forget. Physically, I'm okay, but I don't feel like I'm an anymore. It hit me hard because I knew, didn't know oil, no food, no technique, could help him until he believed he still mattered. So I asked him to try something simple. Every night after applying the blend, place one hand on his chest and say out loud, I still matter. My story isn't over, he told me. Felt silly at first, but over the next few weeks, something shifted. Not just in his body, but in his presence, his eyes, his voice, his energy. Hesed, I feel alive again. It's not perfect, not 20 again, but real, present, whole. Your body responds to the signals you give it. When you treat yourself like a burden, you shrink. But when you show yourself care, even just a few quiet minutes a day, something powerful reckons. This blend works. It's the foods work, the pressure points, the circulation, the chemistry. It all matters. But what makes it stick is belief. So now you have the understanding, the tools, the mindset. The question is, how do you turn all of this into a simple, repeatable rhythm, a nightly ritual that brings real change? That's exactly what Teal show you next. Conclusion, your new beginning starts now. Conclusion. Your new beginning starts now. So here we are. You've just walked through 7 powerful truths that most men over 60 will never hear. Truths about your body, your blood flow, your energy, and your worth. We talked about what your manhood isn't failing, how castor oil and baking soda restore what a jing tries to take, how your hands, your food, and even your beliefs hold power to bring you back to life. Andy shared all of this, not just as a doctor, but as someone who sat with Menwo, thought it was over until they realized it wasn't. You still have time. You still have strength. You still meter. Now it's your turn. Turn this knowledge into action. Start tonight, because the real medicine isn't just in the oil. It's in the ritual, the consistency, and the quiet decision to believe in yourself again. Like this. It's an end. It's the beginning of something you've never lost. Just forgot how to feel.